The construction cost overruns for the pipeline that Ottawa bought are jaw-dropping. And Trans Mountain's plans to pass those costs on to oil companies who plan to ship their product on the line appear to be fading fast. Purchased from Kinder Morgan for $4.7 billion and initially expected to cost $5.4 billion to build, the price of twinning the line connecting Edmonton and Burnaby has ballooned to $30.9 billion by March of 2023, and money is still being spent. Trans Mountain had planned to recover some of those funds by hiking the price of using the pipeline. But as Heather Yourex-West reports, oil companies and Canada's energy regulators have pushed back.
In the heart of Canada's energy sector, the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion was seen as a beacon of hope.
Everybody was excited. Everybody wanted to be a part of it at one time.
This pipeline engineer, a man we'll call Brian, worked as a construction manager on a section of the Trans Mountain pipeline project. We've agreed to protect Brian's identity over fears that sharing his experiences might impact his current employment.
I know for a lot of the people that were involved in the construction, there is a sense of, we messed this one up, but they're more disappointed that, due to the poor planning and just a lack of forethought, that they were set up for failure.
Originally expected to cost between $5 and $6 billion, costs have ballooned to more than $30 billion so far.
Are you surprised that this project is facing such a large cost overrun?
No. You look at the initial cost estimate of $7 to $8 billion was completely infeasible. Moving out to start construction, not all of the little things like land acquisition and right-of-way survey were completed. It was sort of starting a little bit unprepared, so to speak.
Trans Mountain says 70% of the project followed the pipeline's original right-of-way and that contractors were engaged early to develop construction execution plans, adding there were many reasons why the project experienced cost growth and schedule delays. When the pipeline is finally in operation, it will start making some of its investment back. Oil producers have signed 20-year contracts to ship their product down the line, but the proposed cost of shipment is already causing conflict. Suncor, Cenovus, and Canadian Natural say the fees on the table are too high.
They're worried about the tariff and they're going to probably argue about the actual cost.
Canada's energy regulator rejected Trans Mountain's request to fast-track its proposed fee hikes. A series of hearings will be held to review the company's application instead. But based on the contracts signed, Trans Mountain will never be able to recover its construction overruns in revenue alone.
So very likely, if the federal government's going to want to sell this, they're going to have to take a write-down and sell it at a much reduced value compared to what has been spent so far.
Citing an independent economic impact assessment, Trans Mountain says the pipeline's construction will contribute more than $9 billion to Canada's GDP over the next 20 years, while ensuring Canada receives fair market value for its oil, something that is currently sold at a discount.
Well, the project itself was a great idea. It was great. I just really feel that it was poorly executed,
resulting in one of the costliest increases for a pipeline project in recent memory, with Canadians likely on the hook for a big part of that bill. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, Calgary.
And we have much more on the story on our website from journalist Kamia Rezavi. To read more about the rising costs of the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion, head to globalnews.ca/globalnational.